Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Market Misfits. In this video, we're going to be going over support and resistance, or supply and demand. So we're going to look at these. We're going to look at these examples real fast, and then we're going to go look at the Bitcoin chart. We're actually having some movement today, and we're going to see how to use these. So support's like a safety net beneath an asset's price, a level where buying interest prevents further falls, a foundation for historically holding up the market. So historically, price was turned around here at this level from the bottom. So rejected from the bottom support. So here we are. And when we break out of this, old resistance, new support. So these still serve a purpose, the same purpose, except for whenever it breaks out, we are holding from the other side. When we're in a consolidation, then they're staying the same. So obviously, but we break, they switch. So there's a little bit of a dynamic there. With the resistance, acts as a barrier overhead, a level where selling pressure hinders the price from rising, a ceiling capping upward momentum. So here you can see we broke through the old support, and from underneath it came and became resistance. So a lot of times this is going to signal a shift in sentiment. So support break signals a shift in market sentiment, and the previous support becomes resistance. Same as with this, the resistance break signals a shift in sentiment. The former resistance, now support for further upward momentum. So break, boom, pretty self-explanatory. Let's take a look and see how we use these to help us get an idea for, in this situation here, say the situation, this where we are right now in Bitcoin, we're looking at the daily. So one of the major keys to finding historic data is looking at a price chart. If we're trading on the hour or whatever time frame you're trading on, then you want to zoom out a couple time frames, 2 or 3 time frames, because that's going to reveal to us more of the chart, more history, more times that we can say, you know, this level is more than likely, more times than not, anyways, turning away price, whether it's from support from the bottom or resistance from up top. So first off, just want to kind of see where we are. We are in an area right here. One thing I like to do is have this price line in a color where I can see it really clearly. So I don't need to draw anything at first. I'm just looking to see where we are. So, excuse me. So we had some rejections here, as support here, as resistance here underneath. So we're in a bit of a zone right now as it is. But what I want to do is get a bit of a baseline drawn across here. Because if it's going to break up, we want to see, well, which direction or what level would be more than likely to resist the price from underneath as resistance, and then also for the bottom, what level is going to be more than likely or has historically turned the price away the other direction. So just looking for, and I do this one way. There are several ways to do this. The next support really I'm seeing on this is the 30K for Bitcoin. So we were under this for quite some time. Imagine if we came down here. A lot of people would be surprised, but let's see, put support. We're going to do resistance. So here, now you can see for the majority of the time, minus these 2 times when we hit all-time highs, we have not broken through this resistance. So one thing also that's going to help determine how strong a support or resistance is by looking at the size of the moves that come off of it. I like to try to make these as small as possible, because when we go to smaller time frames, then this is going to appear fairly large. So want to get this down and really to get as accurate as we can. Just like to go, I like to personally just like to get candle bodies, but you can see, we use wicks too. So just for trying to find the best I can to get a dead center on this. So with it being as small as it can be, as I can make it, because one of the reasons for that is just to have a more definitive, yes, are we in it? Are we out of it? Especially for breaks. So you see we got candle bodies here, wicks all through here, wicks all through here, big push off of here, big long wicks. So it's showing rejection, big impulse here. So this is a pretty good support. So when it comes to this resistance, kind of got jambled up here, boom, lift off, rejection right here. Again, we had right here, here, big wick, antibodies right in the middle. So as far as the nearer term, I'm not even looking at these up here. So just wanted to look and see which ones are the most prominent for this time frame. It appears to be these two, but like I said, there is a resistance right where we are. A lot of times price likes to come up to these. I'd be a little bit surprised if we didn't come sweep this high before we really come down, if we do come down. So, but that's more of a like subjective, just because I'm thinking of liquidity. But anyways, let's look and see. A lot of times there's going to be one right around the center. Just go ahead and put one up right here, here. This whole area right here, all this up here, we're full of supports, resistance, right? Technically right now, everything to the upside of the price is resistance. So this would actually be a support. You can see how we came down right here. I'm going to use these guys down here. Support. Sometimes it can be a little bit not difficult, but support. Trying to get it too exact, it's not gonna happen. But we do know that we are at a place where prices turned around before. It just doesn't look like that significant of a place right now. Boom, boom. Who knows? It might be, but anyways, we're at 40. We came up to 45. So also, let's say we were to break this, and just for example, so if we're to break this, break the all-time highs here, for example, and we don't have any way to look back historically because there's nothing going to be over here, all-time highs, then we're going to be looking at round numbers, anything round. So, because round numbers are psychological resistance supports. So, just I would throw that in there real quick. So, looking at the weekly, sometimes when you zoom out, you are able to see more clearly. So it helps to switch back and forth. But I wanted to catch this point right here and all across here because this was over a month. It held price. Also, it stopped it to a grinding halt, like to that grinding halt, like to a very fast stop right here. So definitely want to consider that. But for the most part, I'm looking at this 30K. A couple reasons why is we hadn't seen really a retracement yet. So, but the main thing that I'm thinking of is why I think we could break through this and come down to the support down here is because if institutions are involved, and this is just the way that it is, you guys, if you don't, I'm not a conspiracy person, really not. So this is known facts. When I say this, banks manipulate prices. Banks will manipulate the price to get whatever price that they want. So one of the reasons that I'm looking down here, number one, banks are involved. This is like going to be like a historical event if it unfolds, continues to. So when that, with that being said, there's a lot of money on the line. We've already moved up a lot of ways on the speculation of. So, and there's been no real news yet. Tomorrow's the deadline to have applications in. If I had the energy or power to drop the price and pick up my Bitcoin down at 19K or 10K, then I would do that. Or maybe I wouldn't do that personally, but knowing the name of the game, I wouldn't doubt it. They could put anything in the media at any time that they want to drop a market, you name it. But anyways, didn't want to get off track here, but I'm thinking about this stuff when I'm looking for levels too. So how far would I think that they would drop it? God only knows, but I'm looking at these areas immediately. So, and in these areas, we'll be looking to see if we get some kind of price action confirmation, whether it's at this resistance. And the reason why these are important, so you can know where is likely to see, say, if we see, boom, a breakdown, to start looking for confirmation to get a price action pattern. So I'm not going to go too into detail on that, but I'll know when, so I'll know not to buy like right here in the middle of nowhere, basically. But I'm not saying that that's a bad idea. There's a chance we could swoop down and then just pop right up. Sure. We have some big imbalances down here. So it's a chance to come down to the support. This is kind of one that I'm thinking just because we were under it for so long and we did not ever come back and retest it. So that's another thing about support and resistance. If it's been left, like this one was left, when we came down here, it eventually came back to test it. So, and when it did, it turned around the price. So let's take a look and see what this would look like from the flip side. So with that being said, this would be turned into a resistance. This would stay support in that case because we broke below it. And so naturally, if price was here, actually, technically, if price was here, it's a resistance, pops up, and then it's support again. Whoops. Daily support. So let's look at the other possibility right here. May as well cover this while we're on here. Looking for a break. Maybe a rejection. Actually, I'm thinking we still haven't seen a spike up out of this consolidation to, liquidate before a drop. Doesn't always happen, but most of the time it's going to happen. A lot of times it'll go right into one of these supply or demands or support and resistance to get that liquidity for the move. But that's another video, you guys. This is a pretty simple concept. If you have any questions, just reach out and holler, and we will see y'all on the next one. See ya.